Good evening, hypnotherapists. So this is Scott from Lawrence Hypnotherapy. And again, thank you for having me in your newsfeed. So what do you do when you end up with self-sabotage? Well, what is self-sabotage and how does it affect you? Do you find that it affects your money, your cash flow, your patience, your health, your relationships at home? Like, if this is like the biggest dream that you've got, which is to be able to see hypnotherapy clients, and self-sabotage is holding you back, this is something that it's not only good for you to know, but it's good for you to be able to know to teach your clients as well. Hey, thanks for the thumbs up. Because like self-sabotage, like there's the action steps which you need to be able to perform, which is like, your vision, your actual framework, that, the actual steps in the calendar per day. But there's also your discovery steps, which is the part that people really need to be able to follow. And the discovery steps is the stuff that people tend not to know about. It's the stuff that's holding them back. Everything, absolutely. So beneath the surface, when you ask someone like, why aren't you making any actual progress? So if you ask your client, why aren't you making progress? They say, I don't know, but that can mean a million different things for a million different people. And so if you don't know what the discovery steps are, like if you don't have them, to do with basically like awareness first, that there needs to be like awareness of what the actual issue is. Hey John, hey Ben, hey Tom. And so in that is that if you don't have, hey John, if you don't have like the exact steps as to like, well, what actually causes self-sabotage beneath the surface with the discovery steps before the action steps, they can't know, or you can't know, that awareness that something's wrong, something needs to be fixed. So there's something that I went through recently that cost me about $7,000 in like 2 weeks worth of leads in my business, is that my leads weren't getting through my inbox. So anyone who's emailed me in the last 2 weeks, none of us gotten through to me. And so a self-sabotage part is, instead of actually having a system in place to cure that, I basically, the same as will happen to everybody, I fell off track. And I found that because I wasn't able to, book people in because I was losing the leads. I've had people booked in the whole time, but now, for the next week, I don't have a fresh whole, sort of bunch of phone numbers to call for the following week. And so it's like, Scott, you inspire me, awesome stuff, discovery steps, interesting. Yes, so the first discovery step is awareness. Awareness basically just comes from pain. You don't even need to know exactly how it's affecting you, but the first step is awareness. Once you actually realize that something is wrong, you're actually on the first step of the ladder, which is what the whole webinar is about. The second one is about open-mindedness. Because when people, they can be aware that they have the pain, but if they're not open-minded towards actually fixing it, and they'll say you know what, I'm too tired, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough energy, I don't have money, I've got family issues, and they just come up with reasons as to why they should keep going through the same pain instead of actually fixing it. It's that having a problem is not a reason to avoid fixing the problem. Having a problem is a reason to be open-minded towards wanting to fix that problem. It's just that if you don't know how, you admit that you just don't know how, which is fine, if you don't know how. So then the third step is commitment. Once a person's open-minded enough to, they're aware, then they're open-minded to actually fixing it. The third step is commitment. This gets them above the line of the discovery steps once they get into the actual action steps, which is what I go in depth in my webinar. So if you want to see that, type I'm in the comment section, and you'll be able to see the whole thing. It's free. Just put in your name, email address, and phone number, and you'll be able to check out exactly the steps as to what you need to do. It only goes for about 35 minutes. But it's just an amazing, I like to think it's an amazing discovery into how do you overcome the discovery steps, and then how do you overcome the action steps, and what do you do if you fall off, and how do you make sure that you don't fall off again in the future. So for me, I know that I can get angry if I'm in pain, because the same as with the last 2 weeks of emails didn't come through to me. I'm in. Excellent. All right, I'll send you the link. But I had to go through the ladder myself. So that's me for now. I'll talk to you guys soon. I've got to go see one of my students, and we're going to have an awesome afternoon, basically setting her up with a multi-million-dollar business. I will talk to you guys soon. It's been a pleasure. Talk to you soon.